man so agile.
Oh, look at this. Body slam. Wee-Man body slamming Sami Zayn.
Wee-Man used to kick himself in the face. Are you kidding me?
Now he's body slamming Sami Zayn.
And now, coming to you live from the tri-state area and San Francisco, California, it's the best part of Wednesday, Waffle Box, with your hosts, Mike Fish and Kush Hayes.
Ooh, welcome to Waffle Box, the podcast where we talk about anything, everything, and nothing all at the same time. Coming from episode 44, we're recapping WrestleMania. We have our dumb world record of the week, Kush's movie review, and so much more. I am Mike Fish, and I am joined, as always, by my right-hand man, Mr. Kush Hayes. Kush, 44 episodes. Holy cannoli. Where does time fly? How you doing, buddy?
What's good, y'all? This is the George W. Bush of Waffle Box podcasts. And yeah, man, it's an exciting time, Mike. Do you understand? Like, society is finally coming back together. Like we're doing things again, and not only, as you just mentioned, we just came off one of the biggest WrestleManias ever, the showcase of the Immortals. But the Oscars were last week, the Grammys were this week. Yesterday was Star Trek First Contact Day. Tomorrow is Major League Baseball's opening day. Then it's a great time to be alive again, man.
What a time to be alive! What a stupendous time to be alive. That's my little WrestleMania connection. What have you been up to the last 7 days of your wonderful life?
Unfortunately, all work and no play makes Kush a dull boy. So we didn't watch WrestleMania. We didn't get to go see our favorite Filipino pop star in Pinole, California. We had to just sit home. And when we weren't recording episodes, we were editing. And that was most of our weekend, unfortunately.
Fun.
Yeah, work's got to be done when the work's got to be done.
Well, guess what I got up to in the last 7 days?
What'd you do, buddy? I'm excited to hear this.
I was a victim of fraud. Fraud.
Really? With the online banking?
I woke up on Saturday morning to a text message from my bank saying, did you make this $2,000 purchase from Walmart.com? No, I did not. So thankfully they caught it. So, I didn't lose any money, but still. It's like now 6 days without a credit card. And I don't even know what they did. I want to know what they tried to buy.
Gift cards.
The streets wants to know. Well, it's
usually gift cards for some reason. Yeah.
$2,046. So it sounds like, it makes me feel like it was something specific, like probably like a big TV or something.
Yeah, they picked up a DVD and a Coca-Cola on the way out, and then there's tax. But now, did you actually talk to someone at the bank, or did you start pushing buttons on the screen?
I just got a text message and I just had to reply, no.
Fascinating. Okay, so I've been only getting text messages, and I know that almost all of them are bullshit. Like, I'll get a text message from Wells Fargo, and I'll be like, I don't have a Wells Fargo account, so I know this isn't for me. So, but then just the amount of dog shit that ends up in my spam folder. I guess you should call my dog shit folder. But yeah, it's always something was purchased in my name. Here, click this invoice, click this link for the invoice to show you what happened, and they're all scams. So I always just make sure to call the bank themselves directly.
Because you're not a big fan of online banking, you like to
Not
keep your
at all.
You like to keep your cash under the mattress. Is it under the mattress or in the mattress?
Well, it's several spots around the house. The mattress is just one place. Okay, it's like a giant
behind the
financial
TV.
The giant financial Easter egg hunt. All right.
Easter
you could rob me, but you might not even get everything. It's wild like that.
I kind of want to do it now. An Easter egg hunt around your house.
No mas. Two sex.
Oh well, we call it a team building exercise. Waffle Box team building.
It's a game called Where Would Kush Hide His Money? The answer might surprise you.
And other paraphernalia.
paraphernalia is actually all out. Like, yeah, that's even even during Prohibition, that wasn't the problem. I leave that shit all out.
Do you know I have like a man cave or like a workbench for all your stuff? A friend of mine does. Like it's very organized stuff.
Again, unfortunately, stereotypical podcaster, but I am that dude living in mom's basement, you know. So our space is very confined, and 40 years of it has to fit in this one room. So that gets a little troublesome.
You need to get that. What's her name? The Japanese woman from Netflix. It's kind of organize your shit. Mary Kondo.
Even that nice lady would be overwhelmed. Again, like, yeah, you can't see it, but there's literally a stack of DVDs right here. Actually, you can probably see it in my reflection. Like, it's actually blocking the light. I have a stack of DVDs I'm trying to get rid of here. So, anyways, we're getting a little too TMI here.
Yeah, so just have a front. What they call yard sale?
Yeah, we're working on that. We are working on that. So. But just for the record, we hide money in every 5th DVD in the stack here. But that's just between us, all right? Don't tell nobody.
What's the DVD that no one would look in? No one would open, like Bambi 3. Does Disney have a Bambi 3? They normally have some random straight-to-video.
They don't, but I believe we do. I know we have Bambi in this stack here. We might even have Bambi 2, which is a thing, but no Bambi 3.
Bambi 2
I can tell you this, it won't be in one of the sealed DVDs.
No, that would be.
You can eliminate those. And there's actually quite a collection of those.
Interesting. We'll have to go through that. Another episode.
That's another episode.
Kush's shit. Hoarders, Waffle Box edition.
Oh. I'm trying to get rid of this stuff, man. I'm trying.
Anyway. This past Sunday, let's get into it. Let's get into the show.
Showcase of the Immortals.
WrestleMania. We're not going to highlight the whole entire show because if you did see the show, it was combined over the 2 nights, including the kickoff panel shows. It was like 12 hours of entertainment. So that would take a long time to kind of. Because I was on the Between Two Beers podcast previewing the show, and that was 2 hours. So I don't think we want to review the whole show. But so I want to go over the highlights. So the top 3 moments that if you didn't watch WrestleMania, maybe you're like an ex-fan who hasn't watched it in a long time or whatever, and you have Peacock, I'm going to give you the 3 things that you need to check out from this past WrestleMania. In no particular order, but maybe there will be a particular order. Number 3, let's go with that. Logan Paul made his
I thought that might come up.
Wrestling debut, teaming up with The Miz. People might recognize that guy. If you don't watch wrestling, you might remember him from the Real World? I think
Real World, and then he did some Road Rules, Real World challenges. Like he had a significant gap of or a significant window of reality shows that he was doing during his pro wrestling training, during his time on the indies as well. And then obviously snuck in through Tough Enough 4. It was a SmackDown edition. It wasn't a good Tough Enough either. But
and then he eventually became the host of SmackDown with his legendary catchphrase, "Hoorah!" I don't know why that didn't catch on.
That's right. That's right. He did have he was just a personality. That was interesting. Yeah, they kept him. Doesn't matter. The Miz, we talked about this with Troy Anthony Grant on Waffle Box on Microdose 110, and he does not get the respect that a wrestler who's been wrestling for 18 years now should be getting. People are still referring to those reality show days and just writing him off as just a simp. And I don't appreciate that. The Miz is pretty fucking badass, and he made the match with Logan Paul work, at least from what I saw on Twitter videos.
He's definitely one of the best in the company as of right now. He's definitely earned his due.
Most dedicated too.
Oh,
no one works harder than that dude. I don't even know if Triple H does.
He is a company man.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, he teamed up with Logan Paul against the Mysterios, Rey Mysterio and Dominic Mysterio, his son. who's hilariously like 2 feet taller than his dad.
Oh, wow.
But there we go. But he's actually a little accomplished little guy. He's coming up very well. But yeah,
Okay, good.
Logan
It's in
Paul,
his blood.
very impressive, actually, for a man that you wouldn't. I mean, he's an athlete, I guess. He's been
For
doing
a guy
that
who's had
boxing
one professional wrestling match, he was pretty good. He's a little slow, a little stiff, but way better than most guys who have had only one match. Is what I'm saying.
Very agile. He's like jumping over people. He's doing like splits in the midair.
Saw him go to the top rope. Saw him do it.
Did a frog splash
or perform a superplex. Oh, he did a frog splash. Yeah. So they, that was definitely on my radar. I knew that was going to be an entertaining match.
And then at the end, Miz turned on him. So I don't know if that's going to lead to anything down the line of return, or maybe they're just doing that to kind of keep the door open. Like, hey, if you do want to come back, we have something set up for you. But who knows? Logan Paul might come back for WrestleMania. But yes, check that out. Number 2.
That may just go nowhere. I don't want to interrupt you, Mike, but like Stone Cold Steve Austin would always team up with someone and then just stun the shit out of them right at the end of the match. And that was it. It was just done. Like no one ever like, hey, Steve Austin, I didn't appreciate the way you gave me a stunner after we teamed up together. It was just done. That's it. We're done. I'm not hanging out with this guy anymore. Yeah.
Oh, no, I'm not saying they have something definitively in writing, but I think it's just they did it because, hey, if he does come back, then at least we have something ready for him. Speaking of Stone Cold Steve Austin, coming in at number 2 was the return of the Texas Rattlesnake, Stone Cold Steve Austin. He was scheduled for an appearance on the Kevin Owens show, like a chat show, but it was scheduled for the main event of WrestleMania, so we all kind of knew that wasn't going to happen. But it was actually way more than I thought, because last week
I was very surprised where it went.
Yeah. Last week I alluded to where I just thought it was going to be a couple of punches, a little kick, stunner, beer, end of days.
And technically that did happen, but then there was like a 15-minute match before it.
Yeah. Yeah, Kevin Owens said he tricked him by inviting him out because he was going to challenge him to a match, and Steve Austin was like, if you want to see me kick his ass, give me a hell yeah. And everyone went, hell yeah, as they do. And yeah, they had a match for about like 10, 15 minutes. I mean, it wasn't legendary old school Steve Austin, but
no, it's not a clinic or anything.
20 years.
And they did some crowd work. It was a fun match, and I was not expecting it to ever happen even 19 years later. I was like, well, Edge came back from nearly being paralyzed. So yeah, Steve could do one more, but I didn't think it was going to happen. I honestly did not think that would happen. So.
Yeah, it was way more than I thought it was going to be. It was very entertaining because, Steve Austin, he wasn't doing anything spectacular. A couple of punches, a couple of stomps, dragged him around, threw him into things. But no, it's
19 years after WrestleMania 18.
Or
or 19, excuse
match
me.
was 19, yeah.
19. But still, 19 years after Mania 19. So
getting old.
That's pretty incredible. And he looks, he looks much older. He was a lot leaner.
He's 57 now?
Maybe. Yeah, if he's lucky, he is.
I mean, for what that man's been through, I wouldn't mind looking like that at 57.
Yeah. I had teased or theorized that, like, if he's going to have a quote unquote match, like, he could really just literally do just some basic chain wrestling. But, like, those guys went all over this. But Steve took a fucking suplex to the concrete. Like, he did shit a man his age, regardless of what his status is, should not take. And damn it. From what I saw, it was a very entertaining affair.
Main event, night 1. Check that out. But coming in at number 1 for the thing you must see at WrestleMania, we alluded to it in the intro, but Johnny Knoxville faced Sami Zayn in a no disqualifications match. And wow, I thought this was going to be a clusterfuck because you knew obviously what Johnny Knoxville gets up to for his day job. So in a wrestling no DQ match, I thought this was going to be absolute, and I mean a clusterfuck in a complimentary way.
Oh, okay.
But they went far beyond my expectations. That was actually an incredibly entertaining match. I mean, it wasn't your traditional wrestling match. So if you're old school, Ric Flair, Harley Race, Dusty Rhodes, you're probably not going to like it. Like Jim Cornette probably hated it. But if you know, you know. But
does Jim Cornette like anything?
I think he likes
you taking too long to think about
himself.
Oh, all right. Yeah. All right. That's an answer. That's an acceptable answer. That's an acceptable answer.
But some of the things that featured in this match. So you had Wee Man coming out. You had Chris Pontius come out as Party Boy or Party Man. Is he Party Man? Or
Yeah,
party Boy?
Well, a Party Boy, but he is a Party Man now.
Yeah, and he did the thing where he pulled off his Velcro pants and he's got his little thong on. He's dancing around. Fantastic stuff.
If any of you who haven't seen Jackass 4, you're lucky he had a thong on, because that dude goes full frontal 60% of the movie.
Oh, the opening bit.
Several times.
The opening bit focuses on his penis for a while.
Fucking fantastic bit too. Yeah, more about Party Boy. Like, I am surprised that dude got away with as much as he did. Yeah. I was speaking again, Troy Anthony Grant, cheap plug for Microdose number 110, where we cover most of this stuff here. But Jackass 4 hadn't hit Europe yet. I was texting with a buddy of mine in Germany, and I was like, is WrestleMania even on your radar now? Like, I know he's not a wrestling fan, but he was like, I've been watching a lot of Raw lately, and impressive athletes. And so he's like, it is now. I'm watching it right now. Oh, hey, Jackass, that's supposed to come out like next week. I'm looking forward to it. Like Jackass 4 came out, what was that, 2 months ago?
We did already on streaming, so
it's already
been a while.
Yeah, on the P Plus. It hasn't been a while. It literally hasn't been a while. So, but yeah, there's a lot of dong in that movie. Just to reiterate everything, if you're not prepared for that.
Well, not prepared. There was a couple of segments when Pontius got knocked on his ass, and because of what he was wearing, some of the camera angles, they didn't fall out, but it wasn't leaving much to the imagination. You could tell very quickly, like the producer or whoever was like, cut away. And it's like, whoa.
Yeah, that's probably as racy as shit could get.
But yeah, so we saw from, I believe it was from Jackass 3, maybe, the return of that giant swinging hand from out of nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
So knock
Machine Gun Kelly,
Sami Zayn over. Oh, that was. Oh, the original was, I think, was in 3.
Yes.
Anyway,
I got lost there for a second. Wow, they actually brought the hand out to Mania.
Yeah, and they did. So, I guess for the live crowd, it was so obvious it was there, but the camera work was so well done. I had no idea, and when it came out of nowhere, it popped me huge. There was a taser gun that was being used. Johnny Knoxville got a bowling ball and bowled it between Sami Zayn's legs, which you can imagine. And then there was like so you haven't finished watching Jackass 4, so I don't know if this features, but you had this contraption where it was like a mannequin's foot, and then he pressed the button and it kicked out, and it kicked him in the nuts as well.
It could have very well been in the movie, and I just lost in a blind state of just hilarity, and my ribs already hurting 45 minutes into it.
Oh, and then there was the big spots. There was a table brought out by Wee Man, and the table was covered in mousetraps.
Okay, that's the thing in Jackass 4. And most Jackasses is plural. Always got to bring out the mousetraps.
Towards the end of the match, Sami Zayn got thrown from the top rope to the outside through that table with the mousetraps on.
Hilarious.
It was, and then the big crescendo at the end.
No, but hold that thought. I just got to say that, like, falling into a table of mousetraps is actually probably safer than just confronting one singular mousetrap. That's all I got to say there.
I'd probably agree.
Mm-hmm.
But then that wasn't the end of the mousetraps, because they ended up bringing out a human-sized mousetrap, bringing that into the ring, And then at some point, Sami Zayn gets knocked on his ass. They drag him into the mousetrap, set off the mousetrap, so it comes down onto his chest. And then that's how Johnny Knoxville lays on top of him. 1, 2, 3, gets the win. And then hilarity ensues where Sami Zayn's trying to get up, but he can't because he's trapped under the mousetrap.
Oh, that's the most brilliant stunt booking ever.
It was
maybe second to Mick Foley using a forklift to pin the Rock.
It was chef's kiss.
Okay. That's so cool.
Wrestling. It was so much fun. But yeah, so I think that was early on night 2. And yeah, I've blown away. I actually felt better. Funny enough, it was because Edge versus AJ Styles was, I think, either the match after that or the, but it was kind of like, I felt weird saying it, but I felt bad for Edge and AJ Styles having to follow that.
They had to follow that.
Because they were obviously having
they might have had feelings about it too, because like all my notes, like I checked multiple sources and all my notes had AJ versus Edge being night 1. And it was my prediction that would steal the entire 2 nights. How was it? Because again, I'm only following this through Twitter, and that's WWE's official account and their official WrestleMania account, which is usually showing just the same footage anyways.
It was a good match. The only thing I kind of got annoyed by was the fact that it was very clear that this was just the start of something. Because at the end, the match was ended when Damian Priest, I don't know if you're aware of that man's work.
I remember that name. I feel like he's had a WWE history already.
Yeah, so he came out and cost AJ the win, and now he's teamed up with Edge.
Stupid.
So it's kind of like, it could have been, I think it was a good match for what it was, but just seeing it was like basically a storyline match. It was just to start the storyline almost, which was a shame. But they have like a history of doing that with AJ Styles recently. Like a couple of other WrestleManias ago where he was facing Shinsuke Nakamura, which everyone was like,
I saw that
going nuts for. And then they
should have been dope.
Weird. Shinsuke was obsessed with low blowing AJ Styles to get them. It was like really weird, and it was like, why are you?
I don't even remember how it went. I don't remember who won. I don't remember the outcome of it. It was for what should have been the dopest match on the card and in WrestleMania history. Zero clue. You had to remind me that it even happened.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, it was overall thoroughly good 2 nights of entertainment. Definitely go out your way of checking out at least those 3 moments. A couple of other funny things was that on the Friday before WrestleMania, they have their annual Andre the Giant Battle Royal, which is basically an excuse to get everyone else doing something. And it was quite funny that Madcap Moss won it this year. And when
I don't know that name,
doesn't matter. But when they were interviewing him afterwards, the graphic came up, Andrew the Giant Battle Royal winner, which I found quite funny. Andrew the Giant.
So what that is someone needed to make a temporary graphic for the dress rehearsal. Okay. And by the way, the dress rehearsal is like they just throw a static shot up and they just want to just paint that graphic across. It doesn't matter what's happening in the shot. Nothing can be happening in the shot. They've been looking at a brick wall. They just want to paint that graphic. And someone had the placeholder, Andrew the Giant. And somehow either that file got brought up or the replacement never happened. And that's a bad night in the booth for whoever was in charge of that.
I'm pretty
that
sure
was
Vince
definitely not
happy
supposed to
about
happen.
that. And then
fucked everybody up that night.
And obviously WWE have a history of, let's just say, hyping up their crowds in a way that, and by that I mean, if there's 50,000 people there, they'll tell the world that there's 80,000 people there. Just I don't know why. But just to make it worse, obviously it's an obvious error, but they threw up on the screen saying attendance 78,000 people, but then the guy who was announcing it to the crowd said 77,000. So it was like, no one knows what the fuck's going on.
So that's an interesting extra discrepancy because they did that both nights. Again, following this through Twitter, they made a point to make it known. The first night, I don't remember the exact number, kids. Sorry, but it was like 78,000 was Saturday night, and then Sunday night it was 1,000 less. And I thought that was interesting because I was like, well, wouldn't they want this night to be bigger? Why wouldn't they just say it was 79,000? Like, no one's gonna keep count of that shit. No one can actually fucking fact check that. It's whatever they want it to be, but it was 1,000 less Sunday night.
Yeah, so I think they pumped it up a little bit, but either way, I think there's probably realistically, because once you get the tickets sold and in the boxes as well, I think over those 2 nights, there's probably around about 140,000 people in attendance. It's pretty impressive. But yeah, good show. Check it out on the cock if you got it. $5 a month.
On the cock.
Free plug. Okie dokie. That was WrestleMania. Now it's time for this week's Dumb World Record of the Week.
Why?
Why? Why would I? Why? Why?
Why? Why? Why? Why? Why would you want to do that?
Why, oh, why indeed. This week's world record takes us to Madrid in Spain, but a record broken by a German. Interesting. It's very international flavor this week. This week's world record was broken by a man named the Hoi Gian, who's apparently German. Got a funky nickname there because I'm pretty sure his birth name wasn't.
Sounds Vietnamese.
Maybe of descent, I don't know. But according to the Guinness Book of World Records, he is listed as German. So I'm not going to argue. But
Okay.
yes.
No.
So in Madrid, Spain, on the 23rd of December 2008, so it's actually going back, but once I found out about it, I had to highlight this. So this man broke the world record for the most rotations whilst hanging from a power drill in 1 minute.
How big is this power drill?
It's a power drill.
I mean, I'm imagining a power drill, just some shit I would use just on this wall here. Like, are we talking about like shit you used to?
Yeah, there's a picture in the Guinness Book of World Records. It's a regular. He's holding on power drill. Try to guess how many rotations he made in 1 minute.
1 minute 40.
Wait, what?
40 rotations in 1 minute.
Okay. He rotated in 60 seconds.
Yeah.
148 times. So
a little off. Only a little off.
So that's what? 2.5 rotations every second. I tried.
It'll straighten out your spine. That's for sure.
I tried desperately to find a video of this, but I was unsuccessful, unfortunately. Because
2008, there should be one.
The one link that I did found went through and it said the video was unavailable, which was really annoying. But because so he's going around 2.5 times every second whilst desperately hanging onto this power drill. That must have looked hilarious.
I'm still confused by power drill. Like, again, I'm thinking about like some Black and Decker bullshit you use when making and his whole body spun around with this little handheld device. Are we talking about some shit you used to ore mines with?
So the power drill was in the ceiling.
Power drills in the ceiling.
So he was going round.
So you must need a really thick drill bit then to hang on to.
I'm assuming there was some
I'm thinking
manipulation.
Like things thinner than my finger. That's what I'm thinking.
I'm sure it was
every time you say power drill,
a special power drill head, I guess, to make sure he didn't fall from the ceiling. But still, that's a fast rotation.
Yes, it's a very fast, very strong rotation. That's wild.
And even
I feel like that he'd be doing more damage to his hand. Again, I'm still thinking of something that isn't what you're talking about.
And again, that's weird. Why? Why would you think of doing this?
Yeah. Again, this is like, I don't think anyone's ever done that before. Let me put a drill in my ceiling. So there'll be a hole in my ceiling now. And then I'm just going to hang on to it and spin as fast as I can for 1 minute.
And you
1
know he left that hole there so that if anyone had the misfortune of coming around, and they'd be like, what's that hole? Funny story about that hole. Let me tell you. Let me get the certificate. Maureen, get me the certificate book.
Oh, it's very generous of you to think that someone married him named Maureen.
Maureen might be his sister.
Ooh, it's very generous of you to think that his sister would tolerate him living with her.
I don't know. It seems like that kind of family. Afraid to live.
Family doesn't have to like each other.
Actually, we're assuming he has friends to come over.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Well, these are the folks he bought a couple shots for at the local pub. He was like, "Hey, I know we just met and all, but why don't you come on back to the house? We'll play some dominoes or whatever. I got Nintendo Wii, like super outdated reference because this is 2008. Yeah, let's hang out some more before the pub closes." And they were like,
Hey.
"Okay," and they went, "Hey, see that hole up there?
Want to come back to my place and hang out?"
College kids always go on an adventure, and then they were like, "Wow." Then there was this rumor down in the dorms, like we met some fucking weirdo. This is in the hostels as well. Like he like pointed to a hole in the ceiling, and he started talking about having the Guinness Book of World Records, and that's when we slowly tipped out. We slowly started going backwards, and we escaped.
I don't want to ask any questions about holes, man. Whatever you do, man, it's cool.
Except for Yosef, who no one has seen now for 4 days. Yosef stayed behind.
I think I could break that record.
Sorry, dark ending.
Dark
ending.
No, they became friends. That's Sarah ends. Good on them.
Okay.
Good on them.
Sure.
No one dies on this podcast. Weird stories. Or gets tortured by Hoi Gang, the German.
What? Oh, that's right. Again, I was like, well, Vietnamese are up to some no good, man. Damn.
We
a lot of Vietnamese people in San Francisco. That's all I'm saying.
We all respect the Vietnamese on this podcast.
No one's disrespecting the Vietnamese.
And their power drills. Anyway, so yes, congratulations on another Dumb World record.
You did it.
You did it. Well done.
My Vietnamese German friend, you did it.
In Spain.
In Spain. Oh my. The
layers. In Madrid.
The onion.
It just keeps going.
That's right. That's right.
In Guinness Island. So many questions. Anyway, coming up, still on the show, we've got our middle of the show quiz. We're introducing the new feature, the Trap Door, Kush's movie review, and so much more. But we'll be getting right back after this short break. Hey, you. Yes, you. Was you thinking of having that beer? But my friend, it's only 10 a.m. Won't everyone judge you for drinking this early? Don't worry, we've got just the thing to help you. Your very own Waffle Box mug. And now, everyone will just think you're drinking coffee, so you can enjoy your morning beer judgment-free. Go to wafflemerch.com to get yours today. Welcome to the second half of Waffle Box, episode 44. We're talking Morbius in this evening's movie review. We've still got the Trap Door coming up, but now it's time to test Kush's knowledge in the world of music this week. For this week's...
Not good, folks. It's not good.
Well, we'll find out. You might surprise yourself. For this week's middle of the show quiz.
Middle of the show quiz.
Right, normally we give Kush a subject and he has 30 seconds to name as many things as he can. But this week we've got a little twist because, as we said earlier, the Grammys was celebrated this past Sunday. No one got bitch slapped for mentioning someone's wife, which was nice, I guess, an upgrade. So we're talking about Grammys this week. So this week's quiz is I'm going to give Kush a pair of celebrities. There's going to be a total of 5. So to win this week, you have to get at least 3 of these correct. So I'm going to give you 5 pairings, and you have to tell me out of those 2, which one has won the most Grammys. Pretty simple. So we're going to start you off.
I can do this.
We're going to start you off with, an easy one, just to get you warmed up, and then we're going to get into the whole stuff. So pairing number 1, who out of these 2 has won the most Grammys? Katy Perry or Hillary Clinton?
Wow, this is one of those red herring things where you'd be like, well, of course it's Katy Perry, it's the Grammys, just music, but then there's like that spoken word category. So Hillary Clinton could totally have just like 2 to Katy Perry's 1 or 1 to 0. I'm going to throw caution. I'm going to say Hillary Clinton.
You are correct, sir. Hillary Clinton has 1 Grammy from Best Spoken Word Album. Katy Perry is yet to win a Grammy this year. Oh, this in her history, I guess. Well, that's 1-0. I should have had a bing.
Wow.
So 1-0. You got it, Kush. Right. Question number 2. Pairing number 2. Madonna or Whitney Houston? This one's a little tougher. Madonna or Whitney Houston?
I feel again like you're trying to throw me off. Now, both these women I know have multiple Grammys. If they don't, it's a shame because they've both done so much for the industry. Also, one is no longer with us. Miss Whitney Houston, you are always missed. I'm just going to say Madonna.
Madonna has 7 Grammys. Whitney Houston, who's every woman, has 8.
Wow, excellent. Okay, I'm
1 for 1. One
that's a
1-1.
She remade. She covered a Shaka Khan song, but yes, we love that. We are happy to have been wrong on that one.
All right, pairing number 3, we're reigniting a classic feud in the world of music. We're going with Eminem versus Britney Spears. Who's got the most Grammys? Eminem or Britney Spears? Slim Shady or Britney Spears? I don't think she has a nickname.
Jeez. Now you're very good at this, Mike Fish, because now this is a tough one. They're both of their age. They probably went up against each other actually a couple times just with a best album.
Britney Spears rap album, banger.
Well, there's always album of the year, and that's cross generate. Anyway, I'm going to say Britney Spears.
Britney Spears has won 1 Grammy in her career. Marshall Mathers
won an Oscar.
Won 15 Grammys. So
15? Really?
1 and 2, my friend. You got to get the next 2 right.
My bad. Oh, I feel like Chris Rock right now. I feel like I just got slapped. Shit.
Okay. Pairing number 4. Steve Martin.
Ooh, yeah, spoken word again.
Or Alvin and the Chipmunks. Who's won more Grammys? Steve Martin or Alvin and the Chipmunks?
I'm going to say Steve Martin because if it is Alvin and the Chipmunks, a huge crime has happened for Steve Martin is my final answer.
Steve Martin has 5 Grammy Awards to his name. 4 more than Britney Spears. Alvin and Chipmunks, 3 Grammys. So you're correct.
Wow. That's still insane that they have 3. What do they have 3 Grammys for?
This
is the Chipmunks. This is a cartoon.
It's like children's album and crap like that.
Oh, weird.
Steve Martin got doubled up because he won obviously stuff back for his comedy albums, but he also won, I believe, one was like best country instrumental album. Like
he does a bluegrass thing. Yes, he plays
Yeah.
the banjo. Oh shit, that's amazing. All right,
I didn't know there was that
This is
many
the tie
goddamn categories. Best country instrumental. Jeez.
Yep.
All right, so
Yep.
this is it. This comes down to the big one.
No,
Pairing
this is
number-
it. We're tied up. So this is the tiebreaker. I'm going to win or lose right here. This is the most dramatic thing to happen in Waffle Box history. 44 episodes right here.
Pairing number 5. U2 or Zach Braff,
The guy from Scrubs.
the guy from Scrubs. So U2, Irish rock band, or JD from Scrubs.
U2 is like one of the greatest bands ever. You don't even have to like any of their stuff, but like they're definitely more accomplished than Zach Braff. But if he even has one Grammy, this is a weird setup, Mike Fish. And it's that red herring again. You motherfucker. I'm gonna say U2. I'm just gonna say U2. Don't play me off.
Zach Braff has one Grammy to his name.
Fuck off.
It was something to do with one of his movies. I can't remember the movie it was. U2
Was it
is
Garden
one.
State?
Green State, yeah, it was Green State. U2 have won 22 Grammys. You are correct. Kush wins
Middle of the show quiz.
3-2. Congratulations. I thought throwing
I
in
was
that line at the
nervous
end, I
there.
thought I was going to get you on that one. But yeah,
I
nice
was
one.
nervous because it's like, why is Zach Braff in this, man? Like, could he possibly have, if he has a Grammy, he could possibly have more Grammys than you two. Like, I don't follow this guy. Like, what if he has this whole other career outside of Scrubs I didn't know about? Like,
But yeah, when I was like doing the research on this, so like yeah, Zach Braff having 1, Alvin and Chipmunks 3, Steve Martin 5, Hillary Clinton has 1, like Katy Perry sitting there without any. She must be like pissed off.
I like the Katy Perry. I'm surprised that she has 0.
I do it. If you ever feel like a plastic bag, something.
Oh my God, there's a pregnant woman on fire. Do something. She's only surrounded by doctors, but this woman is on fire. And that's a whole other podcast, folks.
All right, time for a new segment this week where we are going to eliminate people from history as we throw them down the trapdoor. The trapdoor. So this is a feature where we are going to name 4 things in a topic, and then we have to together decide which one to throw down the trapdoor and remove from history. Pretty simple.
Team building project. I like this.
Team building.
I'm in.
Yeah. So this week's trapdoor is DC themed.
Okay.
The first topic is going to be actors that played Batman. So the 4 actors that we have selected: Christian Bale, Michael Keaton, George Clooney, or Adam West.
Oh,
Each of those 4 men are standing precariously over a trapdoor, ready to be removed from history. Where are we thinking with this?
so you're definitely not removing Christian Bale.
Christian Bale's a
Like,
very good Batman.
I feel confident that Christian Bale is safe just between the 2 of us. Now, let's talk George Clooney, Batman and Robin. No one loves to talk more shit about Batman and Robin than George Clooney. It's kind of sad even. It's like, all right, bro, we know it wasn't a good movie. you don't have to apologize anymore every time they make a new Batman. In fact, you should just like, whatever, ho, I bought a house. All right. That should be your attitude, sir, because you weren't bad in it. It was just a bad movie. You've been in bad movies.
I thought he was a
this was
very
even
good
your
Batman.
worst. He was a fine Batman. He was a fine Bruce Wayne. So Adam West, things are a lot different from the 1960s, the psychedelic, the camp. There are kids today who have no idea that the mayor from Family Guy used to be Batman. All right. So I can totally see him being on the chopping block here, and would have no reason to defend him for not being on the block, just because he's not even the first Batman. He's just the first one in our recent memory, and that's thanks to syndication. Okay, there's been like 2, maybe 3 other Batmans before that. There was a time when Batman's biggest gadget was he had a car. He didn't have a tank. He didn't have the Batmobile.
He didn't
just
have
had a
the
car.
shark repellent spray.
He didn't have any of that shit, okay? In fact, he was going up against some gangsters in a set of cereals, okay? Talkies, as they used to call them back in the early 20th century. The gangsters foiled Batman by just pulling a couple spark plugs out of his engine. And then Batman's car was just disabled. And he was just stuck in the country. He couldn't do nothing.
Going AAA.
Like, that's how... All right, that happened. So... Who is the 4th Batman?
Michael Keaton.
Michael Keaton. He's fine.
I think he's safe for me. He's safe. I think it's between George and Adam for me.
I would go Adam. Like no one,
because
no one
like I
watches.
say, he wasn't the original Batman, but for all intents and purposes, he was. He was the one that put Batman on the map.
He was fine. It was fine for what it was. It's entertaining schlock. You know, it's a good 25 minutes out of your day. You know, like you're not mad watching it. In fact, it was designed for kids. It was supposed to be just super ridiculous, you know.
So you're going with Adam West.
I'm gonna go with Adam West because all the other Batmans, even George Clooney, are still somewhat dramatic or based on a Frank Miller thing. So
all right, I'm gonna get some goodwill in the bank here. I'm gonna go with Adam West. Agree with you. So sorry, Adam. Off you pop.
Rest in paradise.
Next to him is the lady in his life, the Catwoman.
Oh wow!
So the 4 women on the chopping block, Anne Hathaway, Michelle Pfeiffer, Halle Berry, Julie Newmar. Julie, for those who don't know, Julie Newmar, I believe, from the Adam West period.
She was one of the Catwomen of the Adam West series. That series actually had 3 different Catwomen.
Fun fact.
Julie Newmar, I don't even think was the best one. The best one of those 3. Don't worry about it. Don't worry.
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
But not for these 4 that we're talking about. So
okay,
Julie Newmar is probably my bet to go.
Michelle Pfeiffer, she's safe for me. She was fantastic. I thought.
Is she okay?
Do you know?
She was fine.
She was awesome.
Yeah, it's all right. I don't like Batman Returns. I know it's getting a cult status these days. Like people are like, remember Batman Returns? It was the darker of the Tim Burton Batman. Yeah, I was there. I saw them both in the theater.
Is that on the Penguin?
I had all the cuts. Yeah, I had all the cups.
Danny DeVito bit that guy's nose.
Yep, and Christopher Walken was in it before people were doing Christopher Walken impressions.
I just want to get
it wasn't
the
a good Batman. It was weird. You saw Batman blow up people with grenades and just smile about it. It was weird. Halle Berry's probably got one of the worst movies ever. I still haven't even seen it. I'm just going on consensus. But I would argue she was probably a good Catwoman. or maybe she wasn't. I don't know. I did not see that movie. What do you think about the Catwoman movie, Mike Fish?
I'm to be honest, my vote's going for Anne Hathaway because I don't know why she just annoys me.
Interesting. Yeah, Anne Hathaway was very benign. Yeah, I did not give a shit about her being there. Like, I didn't hate her, but I was also just like, why are you here?
Yeah, because
who did you beat to be Catwoman?
Michelle Pfeiffer brought something to the role. Halle Berry, whether you liked it or not, she brought something. She was trying.
Yeah.
Anne Hathaway was just kind of bleh, to me, at least.
I would have said Julie Newmar, but you could totally sway me to Anne Hathaway, and I wouldn't put up a fight.
All right. So since I went Adam West first one, you're going to go Anne Hathaway with this one, right?
Yeah.
Perfect.
Goodbye, Anne. I love
Anne
you.
Hathaway. Peace out.
Ocean's 8.
And then the final one comes to the Joker.
Oh, okay. Yeah, this is a hard one. I'll tell you right now, this is a hard one.
So the 4 that we've got picked up, because there could have been more. 4 we've gone is Jared Leto, because obviously we're featuring his movie this week. So I throw him in there. Joaquin Phoenix, Heath Ledger,
going to be Joaquin Phoenix,
and Mark Hamill.
Oh, it's just Jared Leto. I didn't even see Suicide Squad. All right, and that's not a rip. That's not a knock. It's probably an unfair criticism, but those other 3 guys were good. I would like to talk shit about Heath Ledger, but I can't even do that because his performance was pretty goddamn fantastic. Like, I didn't think it was an Academy Award winner or anything, but yeah, Jared Leto's is probably the worst one, and we're comparing him to an animated character with one of these characters, and yeah.
And Mark Hamill was fantastic with that voice.
He's fine, but yeah, Jared Leto, au revoir, Misu.
Yeah, I agree. So now
that kind of sucks, but all right.
So this week we've lost Jared Leto, we lost Adam West and Anne Hathaway, which is actually quite funny, actually, because Jared Leto and Anne Hathaway are actually starring together in We Crashed on Apple TV. So there's only 5 episodes of that out. We Crashed. It's about
I'm not familiar with that, but I don't have the Apple Plus. So all right.
It's not bad. It's pretty good, but now we're not going to see the end of that because we've just deleted both of them. Sorry. So if you have a suggestion for next week's Trapdoor feature, hit us up on @WaffleboxPod on Twitter, or send me a DM, or send us an email, enjoywafflebox@gmail.com. So now we move forward to my favorite segment, your favorite segment, everyone in the whole world's favorite segment. It's time for Kush's movie review.
Started before the music.
Kush's movie review.
What do we got this week? We got
Morbius. Sony Pictures Marvel, in association with Marvel's Morbius. This is in the Spider-Man cinematic universe as opposed to the Marvel cinematic universe. Is there
like
a difference?
Venn diagram,
Apparently
right?
so. It's complicated.
Spider-Man
It's
movie
just
in the Marvel
complicated.
cinematic universe, but they're also in the Spider-Man universe. Very weird.
If you go to see this movie for any Spider-Man references, you will be sorely disappointed. You might even be angry.
Not even any?
So there's a trailer. Michael Keaton is in a end credit scene, which we all saw in the trailers. Like, the trailers had like, this isn't the Spider-Man universe. But Michael Keaton is in an end credit scene. He is not part of the plot whatsoever. Spoiler alert, or also go fuck yourself. I don't care. This wasn't a bad movie, but this is again one of those movies. This was supposed to be a summer 2020 blockbuster.
We get COVID
getting pushed down the line because of COVID. At its most recent release date. It was supposed to come out like 3 weeks after Spider-Man No Way Home. And then they were like, well, this fucking movie just keeps making money, so maybe we push you to April. But you know what? I bet if they did that, it wouldn't have been any different, or not much different. I think Spider-Man will still crossed $1 billion, still moved on its way to $2 billion like it is now, and Morbius would have then gotten forgotten like it will now. We're talking Jared Leto, Matt Smith, who I feel like I've seen in stuff before, but I don't recall, Tyrese Gibson, and then San Francisco's own, the Sunset veteran, my guy, Al Madrigal. Both of those characters really have no business being in this movie. It's really weird, Mike Fish. I don't understand it. Like, this is one of the shortest Sony/Marvel films. I was thankful for that, and it was still long and dull. Dull that I actually fell asleep for the final 2 minutes of the climax. All I know is Jared Leto and Matt Smith are talking shit to each other, and then Matt Smith's not in the picture anymore, and he flew off, and Morbius, just the title card, showed up, and then I just left. I didn't care. I wasn't mad about it. It's better than Liam Neeson's Blacklight, which I walked out of, but this is not a good movie. Also, Marvel fanboys, calm the fuck down. Mike Fish, I don't know if you're aware of this. I do a gimmick where before I go see a movie in the theater, I like to post some foreign posters of it. I can only do 4 at a time.
Yeah, sometimes you text them to me for your movie review, and I have to work out what the fuck you're actually going to review.
My bad. Well, I do that on Twitter, on Facebook, and on Instagram, and I did that on a Facebook thread in the Regal Cinema fans group. I didn't say, I just went like, hey, I'm gonna go see Morbius, and then some dude came in and went like, you should have stayed at home, bro. And you know what? I actually agree with him. I was like, I wish I'd stayed home, because like I debated about staying at home. Like I could have just stayed home and saved that hour and 45 minutes plus the 25 minutes trailers. Yeah. All right. I could have done with all of that without any of it. And
what is your local theater? Is it an AMC?
The closest theater to me now is a Regal. It's a multiplex. It just opened up a year ago.
So you don't get those obnoxious commercials before the movie where I say, hey,
oh yeah, for sure,
movie fans, wanna play a game? No.
Yep.
I just want to fucking watch the movie. Oh,
that's Nuvi with an N. And yeah, the problem with Nuvi is half the time they're like, take out your phone, play this game. Oh, you just saved the galaxy.
Well done. Now put your phone away, you dick.
Now put your phones away, you dick. It's very.
What do you got your phone out for?
I just watched a movie from
told me to put my phone out. Fuck you.
Yes. I've brought this up several times. I'm glad you see it too. It's bad.
Fucking movie theaters are bullies, if you think about it.
They're not bullies, but they are bad girlfriends where it's just a toxic relationship and they're giving you mixed signals.
So the AMC, they me fucked up because I don't know whether it was on a timer and the trailers went long, but like the movie hadn't finished yet and the lights came up.
Yeah.
Fucking idiots.
That hasn't happened to me at an AMC outside of the AEW wrestling event I went to last month, but that was a completely different situation. I've been to the little mom and pop shop in West Portal where multiple times the lights came up, like during Jurassic World 2. And I was like, yo, lights. And no one was there in the booth because, again, it's automated. And then I told the manager instantly, like, all right, well, whatever. You gave us money anyways, so fuck off. He's not a good manager.
I used to work here.
Oh no, he was very confident. He's like,
I'm not the manager.
Well, that sucks to be you, dude. I know this is the first screening of this movie, but it's probably not going to be here in 2 weeks. And he was right, but still. He should have gave me free movie passes for a theater that doesn't exist anymore.
R.I.P.
R.I.P. Empire Cinema. I missed you. Anyways, yeah, I have a feeling this movie was edited multiple times. The COVID probably didn't help this, unlike A24's The Green Knight, where the COVID only enhanced it. That meant more time to make the project better. I think they had a plan, and then they changed it.
They fiddled too much.
If I recall, this was supposed to come out before Spider-Man Far From Home.
You just said it was supposed to come out a couple of weeks afterwards. Get back straight.
COVID, buddy. COVID changed a lot of different things here.
I'm supposed to trust you.
No, well, the most recent release schedule was Spider-Man December 2021, Morbius January 2022, and then they moved it to April. But I feel like this was supposed to come out before before anything. And then things got shuffled around, and obviously Spider-Man's going to be the better draw. So they went with that for the Christmas release. But anyways, Morbius, it could have been much worse. It should have been way better. Marvel fans, hey, don't overreact. People like it or they don't, but you don't have to get bitchy about it. That's a whole separate thing that we don't worry about it.
I thoroughly look forward to watching this on HBO or something.
You know what? Save your time. You don't
no, I'm gonna watch it. Who am I kidding? I'll watch it.
Okay.
I'm not spending any money on it.
It won't be on HBO then.
It might be on Stars.
Netflix.
Maybe
Stars, probably even.
Oh, God,
but yeah, this is a Sony movie. Remember that. This is
if it's on Stars, I'm not going to watch it because I'm not subscribing to Stars as well just to watch this movie.
I definitely wouldn't subscribe to Stars for this, but yeah. So it's okay.
What are you going to give it? What are you going to give it at 5?
I should give it a 3, but I'm just going to give it a 2.
Ooh.
Yeah, 2 out of 5. I wish I could do better, but I can't. Again,
Leto.
I don't hate it, but it's not good.
Stay away from comic book movies. They don't seem to work for you.
Yeah, I don't think that's his fault, but yeah, I think you're right.
That's 10 for Morbius. Oh, damn. So he wasn't as good because Tom Hardy was amazing as Venom.
No, he wasn't.
Tom Hardy was amazing.
Oh my god.
I'll fight you. I'll fight you in the streets.
Well, you'll lose that fight. I'll tell you that much.
Oh, you feel brave saying that, huh? All the way over there in San Francisco. I'm here in the mean streets of
you're wiry,
Jersey.
So you're probably fast. So I'll probably have to block a couple punches, but
get you like a spider monkey.
You don't want me to put hands on you, sir.
All right. Well, on that note, shall we do our feel-good story of the week?
Please. We need a feel-good story, please. Next week's review is probably going to be Michael Bay's Ambulance.
There's going to be a lot of explosions in that. Spoiler alert.
Should be some good action. I hear they do a lot of cool stuff with drones, but the story looks like shit. That's what I'm guessing. And I'll probably be right.
Yeah, the trailer. I saw the trailer for that. It's that. Okay.
The trailer looks very benign, very basic. It looks like a Netflix movie. I'm surprised it's not on Netflix now. But I heard they do a lot of cool shit with drones, so that's why I'm going.
Speaking of drones, it's time for this week's Feel Good Movie. Feel Good Movie? Feel Good Story. The week.
That's the coolest fucking story I've ever heard in my entire life. That's insane. Can I hear it again?
And I wasn't even joking. This features actually drones in this story. So this week's feel-good story of the week is not your typical feel-good story of like, oh, this dog went missing and then they found it. Oh, this is one that makes me feel good, and that's the main thing. So a Texas drone business teamed up with an online content creator to create a giant QR code over Dallas, which looks pretty cool.
How's that work?
Well, all the drones
lined
up to create a QR code in the sky, right?
Jesus. How many drones did that take?
It doesn't say. It's kind of annoying. Digital.
Like I would imagine 100 minimum.
A minimum,
right? I mean, just depending on how big this code is.
I have to get you the photo. Digital content creator Jared Gaines, best known as the creator of the epic Nerf Battle series of events, sure, teamed up with Fort Worth-based drone display company Sky Elements to put a giant QR code in the night sky over Dallas. People on the ground who scanned the QR code with their phones were taken to YouTube, to which they were treated by the Rick Astley song, Never Gonna Give You Up.
Oh my goodness. That's like the greatest April Fool's joke ever.
So
was it on
they...
April 1st?
Actually, I don't know. Oh, fuck.
What's the date on the article?
Please hold. I should have wrote that down. That could have been really good. Oh, it doesn't even say. The article came out on April 4th, so I'm gonna let's just lie and say yes.
Oh, April Fools.
Yeah, what a great April Fool's joke. So they rickrolled the entire city of Dallas, Texas.
Nice.
What a fan! I don't know how much that cost to put together. I
A
imagine it wasn't
lot.
cheap, but what a fantastic
It was
idea.
not cheap. I couldn't even put a dollar amount on it, but I would guess 6 figures minimum. Talking at least 100,000 for that.
I mean, some of these online content creators, it's a week's worth of views to them. I don't care. And then they're in their YouTube mansions.
That's so disappointing too.
I know, not like us. We'll get there. We'll soon be putting out those tone deaf videos on YouTube. And like, look at us. Oh, isn't it hard only having 4 cars? Oh,
that'd be the greatest day ever.
It would be. So yes, shout out to them, Jared Gaines. Even though I'm not going to do any more research, because if you have this kind of money to waste on this kind of prank and you're an online content creator, you're probably a dick. So I'm not going to do a research on you because it might ruin this for me. But I salute you, sir.
Goodness.
What a fantastic prank! And that's this week's Still a Good Story. Coming up for the rest of the week, what have the wonderful people of the Syrup Squad got to look forward to on the Bosnet family coming up?
Well, yesterday we released for First Contact Day, microdose number 111. That's with Jameel Hemphill. He knows more about Star Trek than anything you know about in life. All right. And we talk about the state of the Trek. It's our 2nd annual episode that we've done this, and we break down Picard. We break down some Discovery. We talk some TNG. We talk some DS9. We talk some Voyager, and we mix it all together, and we get it in just under an hour, and that's a good time. But guess what, folks? In 2 days, I'm talking to Steven Steinbacher. He is the cinematographer for Len.
The Steven Steinbacher?
The Steven Steinbacher, motherfucker.
Holy
I
shit.
thought you knew. Holy shit. We're going to talk about Pact of Vengeance and some other stuff. That'll be a good time, but that comes out this Friday. So you're getting 2. That's right, folks. 2 microdoses this week. But guess what? It doesn't stop there. The Kick-Ass Movie Podcast,
There's
number
more.
11. It's the second to last. It's what's the goddamn word that everyone's just using? Penultimate episode of the season 2 finale. We're talking Bounty Tracker, me, and the director of Pact of Vengeance, Len Kabazinski. We're talking about Lorenzo Lamas's Bounty Tracker. It's available on Amazon Prime in both regular form and Riff Tracks form. Riff Tracks form is a lot more entertaining. But our discussion about that comes out Tuesday, April 12th. And that's everything within the Bosnet family.
Beautiful. But yes, if you want to see more content from us, obviously make sure you subscribe to all of our socials on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Waffle Box Pod. Remember, if you are listening to this, you can always watch it on YouTube every single Wednesday. If you are watching us and you'd prefer to listen to us, of course, we're available on all your favorite platforms: Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon, Audible, iHeartMedia, all that good stuff. Also, if you want to support the show, of course, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, hit the thumbs up if you are watching us, if you're listening to us. Tell your friends, tell your family, tell your pets to check out the episode. If you want to get some swag, you can go to wafflemerch.com with a bunch of mugs, t-shirts, hoodies, all that available. And if you would like to join membership form to enjoy the extra waffle, you can go to extrawaffle.com. But until next week, take care of yourselves and each other.
That's all, folks. That's all, folks.